S&B Monthly is a show about two sisters-in-law who share their love of books. Sometimes they read together, sometimes not. Sometimes horror, but mostly smut. They also spend a lot of time on book talk, fangirling over hockey players, and farming in Stardew Valley. Every month, they review and recommend the books they've read, and chat about other fun topics too. Don't worry, they won't spoil anything. But be warned, the show is not for kids, or for anyone who may be offended by horror or sex talk, or both. Looking at you, Mom. Hello, and welcome back to S&B Monthly, and welcome to our first episode of Thurstea, Tomes and Tea. I'm your co-host, Beck.
And I'm Stephanie.
What tea are you drinking today?
Today I'm enjoying a very nice Harney and Sons fine teas. And then it's cherry blossom, a delicate green tea with springtime cherries. Now, I don't have like any tea specialty places. I'd have to go to Phoenix or something, which I will do eventually, but I didn't get a chance to go this time. But I go to Walmart, right? And I'm thinking I'm gonna have to tell everybody I'm drinking some Lipton, which is fine. I mean, I'll drink. I love tea, but they had these tins, and they're and I sent you a picture. They're the cutest thing.
Yeah.
And I bought them purely on aesthetics, but I'm drinking it, and it's really good. It's cherry blossom, and I already said that, and I'm drinking it with a little bit of honey, and it's super good. It's super tasty. So I was happy I found it. I'm like, oh, this is actually really nice and fancy. So
yeah, I've seen those tins before. They're like the square tins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it loose leaf or is it the ones that have the tea bags?
It has the little tea bags, but they're fancy.
They're like the mesh ones or whatever.
Yeah, and they're like iridescent. They're like pretty.
Oh.
20 sachets. Okay,
sachets.
They're not tea bags. They're sachets.
No, they're sachets.
Yeah, it's really good though, and I was really surprised to find that at Walmart. So I was super stoked. So yeah, it was really good.
Walmart is sometimes a win, though.
Yeah, dude, it'll surprise you from time to time. I got another one that's called Hot Cinnamon Sunset or something. My husband, so he smelt them, and he smelt that one. He goes, oh, I'm going to have tea too. So he's all excited for it because he loves cinnamon flavored stuff. Yep. And I'm like, I'm not quite ready. I'm like, I'll have that in another month or so when it starts to cool off here.
Yeah, so, where it's not...
and cooling off here, when it's 80, it'll be nice and chilly, and I'll have myself some... No, but I don't want that it was 102 today. I'm good with the cinnamon. I'm not ready for it yet. But smells wonderful. So yeah. What are you having today?
So I had this huge plan of going to a tea cafe and picking up tea and bringing it home. There's this place in our area. It's called TLC, and it's you can have afternoon tea there, which is super fancy. But when I went, I didn't realize that there was no to go option. So I walked in and they're like, oh, please wait to be seated. I'm like, no, I want to go. I want to bring it with me. So I can record a podcast. No, I didn't say that. So I just ordered it off of DoorDash. So my tea is DoorDash. But no, it's called Summer Garden. Mm-hmm. It is because I was really set on this because I looked it up online, as one does.
Yeah.
I have to know everything about everything. I have to know what's in it. But it's a black tea with peaches and strawberries. The taste of summer in a cup.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's actually really good. I don't know if it was worth the DoorDash delivery fee, but I was set.
So they don't have a little store? They should, where they sell their teas?
Well, that's what I was thinking too. If I like this, shouldn't I be able to bring a loose leaf with me?
Right.
But maybe it's something that I'm going to have to actually sit down at one point, because they do have an afternoon tea situation. It's the teapot, and then you get 3 sandwiches and a scone, and like it's a whole
that's so
thing.
cute.
It's so cute, and I would love to do it because
Yeah, that
aesthetics.
would be cute.
But
Yeah, and I'm sure there's plenty of places where you are too. I mean, you live. You're like one great thing about California is you have everything. I mean, like here. I mean, now if I was in Phoenix, I'd have a lot more available at my fingertips. But being here, it's like, guess I'll go to Walmart. But I'm sure there's all kinds of like really cool, cute places where you
yeah,
live where you can find stuff like that. But that sounds fun though. Is it real close?
um, it's not
Like,
within like walking distance, but it's like
okay.
2 miles away. I want to say,
Okay, that's nice.
without revealing my location exactly.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Well, I know sometimes there's a place where you can go walk to eat, and I was wondering if it was in that same area where
Mm-mm.
we go. Okay, no, so it's not there.
No, it's by our International House of Pancakes.
Ah, okay. Okay, down by the IHOP.
Yeah,
All right.
by the
Sounds good. International House of Pancakes.
But I wanted to, actually leave the house for once because I
Right.
do get into the rut of just hanging out. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Nice. Well, I think that's cute. I think
Thank
that's
you.
cool. You should definitely go. I wish I was there. I'd go with you. We would have already gone by now. So
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Jeff is not the type to sit and do
I mean,
afternoon tea, so
Adam isn't either. Actually,
Yeah.
Jeff might.
no.
No.
He came with me. And he's like, I'm good. I'm like, okay.
Oh. Well,
Fine.
maybe Belen or something. You'll find
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone.
Maybe when I come visit.
Actually,
I
maybe.
mean-
All right. With that out of the way, we wanted to create another monthly episode for a few reasons. My reasonings is I kind of wanted something that was a little chiller, something that would maybe be a little easier to edit since I'm doing that as well. But I also kind of wanted to talk about like bookish content without being into that wrap up format. I love the format. It's just kind of doesn't let you stray too off the path unless you want a 2-hour episode, which at this point I don't think anybody wants us to talk for 2 hours. But it also is kind of like a virtual afternoon tea, like I was talking about. We get to just hang out and drink tea and talk about books and bookish related topics. I also really like engaging with our listeners. So like a whole month just seemed like it was too long of a wait to be able to engage with them. Right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And we kind of like talking to each other too. It's fun for me to talk to you throughout the month about like ideas and concept art, and like I just randomly send you pictures of things.
And I always love them.
Yes. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm sending her too much, but I'll send it anyway.
Yeah. I remember thinking that once a month just wasn't enough to chat about books and life and just everything in general. I love the once a month wrap up of all the books we've read, and that's very like you were saying, it's very strict, and like we like you were saying, you don't want to get like too far off topic because then it ends up being crazy long. And we do, like, she edits so much you wouldn't realize. Like we talk for like 2.5 3 hours. There's been like once I think it was 3 hours, and she has to go back and edit and cut things out, and like it's a lot of work. I just get to sit here and like talk, and she's behind the scenes doing all the craziness. So I do appreciate, I always want to make sure that that's appreciated from me, because I know it's a lot of work.
You make us TikToks every once in a while.
I do sometimes. I mean, that's fun though. I just go to Pinterest and like
I cannot stand TikTok because I am always so confused. I don't understand what it wants from me.
I do so I think I do everything from my phone.
Yeah.
I don't really ever use a computer, and I think that's why for me I'm like, oh, this isn't bad. But if you're used to doing things on a computer, it probably makes it more frustrating. on the phone, which I do get frustrated sometimes. And then I have to like save all these pictures, crop them, save them in a gallery, and then delete them after I'm done because I only have so much storage because I have thousands of pictures on my phone. It's not even funny. And I have them all backed up on my computer. I just have this like fear of losing them. It's so dumb. But like so yeah, anyways, see, I go off topic really easily. But anyways, she does a lot of work behind the scenes. That's why I ramble, and she's like, "Can you just get to it? Because I have to edit." No, I'm kidding.
Never.
I'm kidding.
Like the rambling. It's fun to listen to it while I'm editing. I'm like, I'm gonna edit this out, but this was fun.
I'm gonna take this out, but this is funny.
Yeah.
So it was nice to finally find a hobby. So my husband was always on me about like, you need to find a hobby, this and that, and I actually enjoy this. It's not like a job for me. It's something I look forward to doing. I have so much fun doing it every month. So we figured we'd add another episode. 30 days is a long stretch, and we just wanted to talk about other things. And then we just had the idea of Thurstea and thought it was funny. And I'm like, we should really drink tea. And I remember talking about it. It was so fun.
Yeah.
So we're starting to get a little bit of traction and more people are listening. So we hope people enjoy this mid-month thing. And we just thank everyone who supports our podcast, whether it's 10 or 20 or wherever we get. We're going to do it no matter what because it's fun. So we do enjoy the people who support us, though. It's
yeah. I'm a little attached to everybody so far, you know?
Yeah.
I know the people that are interacting with us, and it's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, it feels really good. It's something that I honestly was like, oh, we'll have like maybe a couple family
3
people.
Yeah.
But we've gotten, I mean, for us, like we get one person, we're like, look, like we're so excited for like an extra, like there's one more person. So, it's really cool and it's fun and it's exciting.
It's fun.
Yeah. So twice. So we decided on the mid-month, and I think it was a great idea. So
I think so too.
Yeah.
This is going to be kind of just like a bookish topic conversation, not necessarily like, this is the book that I've read and this is what I liked about it. It's going to be like, we have a few topics and I won't go over all of them, obviously, but so far for this podcast, this episode, I wanted to go kind of over the rating system. We have kind of a fun bit later on, and then Stephanie is going to bring a topic to us as well. I didn't want it to be anything that is very strict or like we have to go in order. I just kind of want to ramble about things here and there. So the rating system, we did get feedback on our website and through the podcast that our rating system isn't necessarily the clearest. So I wanted to clarify it a little bit. We do rate everything out of 5 stars. So that's going to be, we rate everything out of 5. So that's stars, spices, and eye rolls. We added eye rolls because some of the books we read, man, they should come with an eye roll tag on Goodreads.
Yes.
Because like I will vibe with a book, but there are times when I roll. Mm-hmm. So, and that the eye rolls are always going to be subjective. It's going to be definitely what we feel is an eye roll. Like personally, like the whole pink Converse thing for me is a little bit of an eye roll. Do you have any?
Yeah, like the whole pick me or she's not like other girls. Because if you have to say that, like,
right,
I should be able to read about this character and I could figure out. But when you're like pretty much saying it like she doesn't have blonde hair and blah blah blah, like who cares? Like
I read books and she listens to Taylor Swift.
It's like that there's this whole song that's actually a Taylor Swift song, and it's like it's like
what is that song?
People listen to that song and they're like, ooh, I have an idea. And like, no, like, and I don't mind like the girl, like if you're like, I don't know, it's just they so, oh God, how do I explain it? They're trying, it's a try hard thing. Like they're trying so hard to make her seem different. And it's like, stop. Like,
I think yeah.
And then she's not. I'm like, which, like, you know, I don't know, it's just kind of
I was thinking about
annoying.
that kind of a little bit while I was trying to sleep because as random
Yeah.
thoughts happen while you're trying to
Hmm.
sleep. But it I feel like it's almost detrimental to development too. And I don't try to be
Yeah.
like too psychology on this, but like when you read so many books about girls being different and then like you are different, but then you don't have relationships with girls that you may actually like. It's just you feel like they're a certain way because you
Right.
you don't look the same or you don't like wearing the same clothes, but you could definitely be friends and you're like I don't know, you're
Yeah.
missing out on a friendship that could be very helpful, but
Yeah, yeah, and it's I don't like how they portray, you know, your female main characters a lot. The one I'm reading now in this book,
mhm.
this series, oh, I like her. Like, she's cool. Like, and some people don't, and because I've read a lot of reviews on the series I'm reading, which I'll be going into a little bit later, just because it's so much fun and I love it so much. But I think she's like a complete badass. But some people are like, she's annoying. I'm like, nah, dude, she's cool. But like, it's unfortunate that,
She can
like,
hang.
I see, yeah, for sure, but I see it with male characters too. Can definitely have the
Mhm.
eye roll. Like, I could have any girl I want and all the
Oh
girls
yeah.
love me, and why do I so it goes both way. Like,
Yeah,
doesn't matter if it's a
absolutely.
man or a woman. But I really hate when I just wish women were written differently sometimes, because
The
it
way
does
they
seem very
actually
much of the
are.
same. Yeah, like, I really liked in the second book of the series I'm reading. I'm sorry, I'm not going to go off on a tangent too long, I promise. But the FMC, she was 30, and that made me so happy. And like, a vampire fell in love with her. Okay, that's all we need to say about that. But like, she was 30, and so many times it's like, I'm 18, and
Yeah, that
no,
also.
she had such of a great history too. Like, her life was so interesting, and then it's not like she was your typical. And I that I liked, because I'm like, okay, because being older, it's like you always have to read about these young women, and it's like it's already thrown in our face enough that, like, when you
Yeah,
get older, like, you just like,
you're
guys, it's okay,
unwanted.
but when a woman gets older, you're tainted, like, eh.
Mhm.
And I mean, that's primal things as well. Like, you know, you can't
Sure.
have babies anymore, so you're not. But as human beings in this society, like, you don't want to feel like that, and so it kind of sucks being older and reading all these books. So when I read that she was 30, I was like, ooh, like, that's nice. Somebody a little bit older. So I would wow, I was talking about eye rolls, and see, here I am.
Yeah.
So anyways,
Hence tomes and tea.
I'm gonna stop. But
Yeah.
God, I went on forever.
Okay. So the
Sorry.
star rating.
Let me stop.
So I think when we first started
Hmm.
S&B Monthly, I kind of just was willy-nilly about my ratings. I kind of just, oh, I really like this book, so it's A4.
Right.
Or like I vibed with this book. I like it, gave me the feeling, so this is a 3 or whatever.
Hmm.
But Goodreads, which is probably what I'm going to start going off of, so they're a little more accurate. So I'm a little more I don't know. You can trust my judgment or my star rating a little more. But their 1 star is did not like it. 2 stars, it was okay. 3 stars, liked it. 4 stars, really liked it. And 5 stars is it was amazing.
Hmm.
Obviously, this is still going to be personal preference. There's probably books that I will read that you will not read. You'll read that I won't, and we read that our listeners probably will not. Um,
Right.
but do you want to go over what a 5 star book looks like to you?
Yeah, so 5 stars for me are like absolute perfection. So I don't give a lot of them out. It has to, and that's my perfect, right? Which is
Mm-hmm.
not everyone else's. So it is, you know. But the only 5 star read I had so far this year was This Thing Between Us by Gus Moreno. And if you happen to look up that book, there's a romance one with the same name with the corny cover. That ain't it.
That I mean.
So yeah, Gus Moreno, it's that one. So really good, really well written, interesting, unsettling, unhinged. Not a romance, no, not a romance at all, but I really just loved everything about it. That was my only 5 star read so far. T. Kingfisher books have come so close. I know. I don't know. Hollow Places really might be
A 5.
it might be a 5. The more I think about it, I'm like, why did I not? I can't give you a reason why I didn't.
I was gonna
So
say, why?
I love that book.
Why?
And out of all of her books, and I like all her books, like they're
Mhm.
all 4s for sure, but that one was like special. Like, I don't know if it's because it's a book that got me into her, and that's why I'm looking back like, but I love that dang book so much. Like, that's a book I'm not big on rereading, but I would read that one again, for sure. And a little bit about like a 1-star just for me is for me, I know it just says did not like it, but I'm gonna give a book 1-star if I didn't finish it, DNF. Because if I finished it, something clearly kept my attention.
Yeah.
And like even the worst book I read so far this year, I gave it a 1.5, right? Because I did finish it, and it was, I mean, we all know which one, Dead Inside. Gross. But I did finish it because I want to know what was going to happen. I did DNF one book. I attempted Colleen Hoover. I really did like Verity. I liked that one, but I tried another one, and it was not for me. And I know there's people who love her, and that's great for you. Just not my style. It Ends With Us was a no. I tried because it got a lot of credit, and I'm like, oh, and it's just something about it, not for me. But most of my reads are going to be 3s and 4s.
Yeah.
So what about you?
To me, it would be something that's really well written. It has no clunky dialogue. It has a unique storyline because with characters that have depth. I definitely am more of a fantasy person. Like, so if it has fantastical elements with like mythology, like not necessarily fairies, but they help, elves, all of those fun things. And has humor for levity. So my 5-star books in the last year have been a lot of T. Kingfisher, Paladin's Grace, What Moves the Dead, The Hollow Places. Also Brahm. He wrote Slewfoot and Lost Gods. And I think Neil Gaiman is actually going to be one of those authors that are going to generally get a 5-star review out of me because I like the way he writes. But before this year, it was like House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski, if I'm saying that right. I think it's just such a unique and creative book because if nobody knows what House of Leaves is, just real quick, we're going to go on a tangent about it. It is a book about this guy. He finds this manuscript that was written by a blind man about this family that lives in this house that they find like an unknown hallway. Like it's not in the blueprints. The inside of the house is slowly getting bigger than the outside. So they measure it. Oh, I say measure weird. Measure it. And like it's like this spiral of what's happening in the house, and then the manuscript, quote unquote, turning the main character, I wouldn't say crazy, but like it definitely gives weird vibes.
It's very I have it, and I haven't read it because it's very what's the word, like intimidating.
It is very intimidating.
If you just like flip through it, like if you're ever at the store and y'all see it, like, and you've never seen it, just flip through it. You'll be like, oh boy, like I want to so bad, but it's very intimidating. So
yeah, because there's like sideways pages. There's some pages that are just completely blacked out or like crossed out. Some of the pages you have to turn upside down. There's one page that you have to like continuously turn the book to read the text. The if you get the colored edition, the colors are for a reason. Like it's this whole, it's really unique and creative. but
Interactive for sure.
it
Yeah.
is very intimidating. It took me like 5 tries to actually read it.
Yeah.
I only read it because I was on a road trip for extended amount of time that I had nothing else to do. Um,
Uh,
but it ended up being like one of my favorite books. Uh, Also, really like The Haunting of Hill House. So apparently, I have a thing for weird houses.
yeah.
Um,
That's cool.
as far as spice, this too, I was very inconsistent with my ratings because I kind of just went off of how I felt about it or how much I liked
Yes.
it. But
Right.
it actually is like there is a rating that I found on is it spicyromance.com, which
That's
great
awesome.
great website name. It's a really helpful tool when rating spices. So 0 would be, clean, no sex or implied sex scenes, kisses only. 1 would be 1 or 2 sex scenes, or the book is mostly plot. The sex is implied. 2 would be 2 to 4 sex scenes. The book is mainly plot with some breaks for sex. 3 is 4 to 5. Fair amount of smut. And the romance, it has like significant descriptions. A 4 would be 5 plus sex scenes, significant amount of smut, there are explicit descriptions, and then 5 is just or extremely explicit. Do not read this in public. How do you feel
Yeah.
about that rating system?
Yeah, I would say it's accurate. And I don't yeah, so I feel the same when it comes to that rating. That's very good. I'm not big on if it's 5 spices, it's not going to be 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? Like I like plot.
Yeah.
And my current this is all so my current read, I'm sorry, I keep going on about it, but
No, it's,
I'm crazy about it. So it's a slow burn, and I didn't realize how much I'm enjoying that. But so there's not a whole lot of scenes in it, but when they happen, oh boy, they're good.
yeah, you're.
So cuz it's like you're waiting for it, and then you're like
Mhm.
finally. So like um yeah, so I thought cuz a lot of some books I've read have been like 4, and like it's a really good plot, but wow. And I mean those are fun.
Mhm.
So uh yeah, I'm not going to have a whole lot of 5s that I'm going to enjoy, cuz that just gets to the point where I do like to form attachments with characters and so on. So, and I mean if you like that, like good for you,
Yeah,
dude.
there's a
Like
time
you
and
do
place for
you
that, sure.
for sure. And like, it's everything on here is subjective. That's the one thing that we can actually put some kind of like you kind of know what you're getting into. So
Yeah.
that I think that helps cuz the way we were doing it before, like what I find like not very spicy, you may find extremely spicy.
Right.
So I kind of like having this system that way, like for our readers and for each other and whatever, and listeners, like, oh, okay, so this is good, this is going to be heavy on that, or this is going to be light on that. So it is good to know, because a lot of people are different when it comes to sex in books. Like some people might not be as cool with it or whatever, and that's fine. But if like we're rating it a 4, you're like, that might be a little much. So or if I say it's a 1, you might be like, that's not enough. So it's all
Yeah.
preference. But I do like it having more of a system to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
for
and
sure, because I was just
obviously,
doing it like how I felt, and like and not nobody has my brain, so what I see is one thing, you might not, you know what I mean?
yeah,
So
and people with different backgrounds are going to have different views of explicit material for sure.
oh yeah, yeah, definitely,
Like
definitely,
I'm pretty at this point. I've read basically everything, so I can.
yeah,
But somebody with maybe more of a
conservative,
conservative background might
yeah,
feel different. And
right,
obviously, I don't want to sit there and calculate every single scene. Like, I'm not going to be tallying next to,
no, no,
but it'll
and
be, yeah,
a roundabout,
yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And I realized the more spice, like this whole like romance, dark romance and spicy, like
Mm-hmm.
that's new, because I again like I've kind of recently picked up reading again. It's been Well, it was last year I started again, and I had no idea. I was reading like,
Yeah.
oh my God. So, but now it doesn't faze me. So, especially if like we have new listeners, like, and that's why when we do talk about horror and stuff, we're always sure to like, this is for, a beginner could read this, or maybe not so much for beginners. And, we really apply that to like horror and gore and things like that. But, we could apply it to sex as well, because that's another kind of taboo for some people, subject. So yeah, I think, I like that system. That's perfect in my opinion.
We are back, or ever, hopefully. We did have a small emergency break in the show. The emergency was not small, but the break was. And we wanted to keep the giveaway going because the emergency did happen when we were supposed to pick our winners. So it is extended. We wanted to show our gratitude. We actually have 15 Spotify subs now, which is awesome. So we wanted to put together 3 handmade shirts and a handmade sticker pack. It now extends to August 25th at midnight Pacific Standard Time, and we will announce the winners on the September 5th episode. We will contact you via the platform that you entered on, and we're hoping that this is the first of many giveaways for our different milestones. Hopefully next one is 25, and we'll figure out what to give away then.
And as a token of our appreciation, we'd like to send a lovely thank you note and a sticker to our first 10 subscribers. So please email us at monthlysndb@gmail.com with your mailing address. Please be honest and don't cheat, because we can count to 10 and we'll know if you're fibbing. We did want to do, I've talked about doing, I have tons of like books too, and maybe Christmas time or something we could do a giveaway. And I have like entire series. Now that I have my Kindle, I can
give away your extras
space on my shelves and like save those for my aesthetic books. So I could definitely
you're in on
give
it too.
some away. Yeah, I am. It's so easy to have a Kindle. At first I was like, no, I need a book, but I get it now. But I think it'd be fun to do some kind of like 10 days at Christmas, and we'll give away send books to some listeners if there's a series because I know, but I mean, the world is expensive right now, and everyone should be able to read. And unfortunately, the library just sometimes doesn't cut it. So I think it'd be really fun to like send our books to somebody else, and then when you read them, you can pass them on. And that's what's so wonderful about books is they can just be passed on forever.
We could write like a note in them too. That would be fun.
Absolutely. Everyone who like passes it on leaves a little note. Ooh, how fun is that?
See, this is what I like.
Yeah. So we should do something probably around Christmas time. I think that would be good timing for that. We could do like 10 days of Christmas giveaway, and we will do something, and we will give away books, and it'll be wonderful. And we'll leave notes, and then all we ask is when you're finished,
you move it on.
You pass them on, and so on and so forth. And maybe you can hook up with people in your local community. Start a Facebook page or something and find people in your local community, and you could get together and trade. Somebody, I've always wanted to read that series, and that's how it starts. Just it starts small, and then reading is so cool because it's universal. Everyone does it.
Yeah,
a lot of people love it, so it's awesome. Books are awesome.
I think it would be amazing if eventually, I realize this is in the future, but if we had like a community of readers that could like engage with each other too. I think that would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a Discord channel or something.
Yeah. That would be super fun. Yeah. Definitely. We could do some of those what do they do on I don't know what they're called, but I know on Discord you could do like rating. Like, and we could do like books on there. That'd be super fun.
Yeah,
with
that'd
all
be
of
really
our
cool.
like viewers and stuff. Yeah.
Like a channel for each book too. That'd be so cool.
That'd be really cool. Yeah, that'd be a lot of content. I'd be just reading that and reading books. And, that'd be fun.
That would be really fun.
These are the things we like talking about. These little ideas, and they're so much fun. So, and we've been pretty good about following through, because even this podcast was just an idea, and I'm like, let's do it. And you're like, oh no, I was serious. I'm like, oh good, me too. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was definitely for a while just like, we should do this. But then we finally did the thing.
And it's so great.
It's so
much
good.
Fun. Yeah.
So, you recently got a Kindle.
I did.
Have you noticed the books that, how do I explain this? It is title, so it's like blank blank, and then it has parentheses, a blank blank blank, and then, or sorry, a colon, a blank blank blank, parentheses, book one. Have you experienced this yet? Okay, perfect.
Yes, it's so many, yeah, and I'm like, wait, that's not even the title, because it'll say the title, and then it'll be like blank 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 blank, and I'm like, wait, that's not part of the, and then blank of blank books.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, you're confusing me. So yeah, I have noticed that, and it's really annoying.
Oh, it's annoying.
It is.
But so that was my brainstorm for our next topic, our bit, if you could say, is just finding terrible, bad KU books, and we each read them.
Yes.
Okay.
I got a good one for you, my friend.
Oh, you already figured it out? Okay.
Oh yeah, I got one for you.
What is it?
So I'm gonna read you the name of it, and then I'm gonna read the description.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Wolf Cursed, a slow burn enemies to lovers romance. Spells and Shifters, book 1. Have you read it? Okay, first of all.
I have not read it. That is a good question, because
yeah, I know. I'm like, she might have freaking read this already. Like this, okay, the description is ever so long, but I love the first the first paragraph cracks me up. It says, humans have been killed in our little supernatural town, and for some ungodly reason,
ooh,
the werewolves are pointing the claw at me. Oh sure, blame the witch. Someone in the four quarters is trying to frame me. Until my innocence is proven, the werewolf alpha holds me captive in his estate, and it literally says rude in italics. Oh my god, I'm dying. So it has shapeshifters, witches, and vampires. It says this book features strong badass FMCs.
Oh my god.
Brooding but not alpha hole MMCs with cinnamon roll hearts, forbidden love, found families, and happily ever afters. It's 344 pages.
300. I thought it was 300 was our limit.
400.
Oh, 400.
Was it
okay.
300?
No, it's okay. I'll read it.
Okay. So
no, hold on. Yeah, send me the link.
Okay.
I need to see. I also want to see the cover art, because that's how I choose. Not only is it the blank blank, a blank blank,
cool.
It is also cover art.
So the cover is actually not bad. There was one, but it's like a series of 7 books, and it was like these aliens. And I almost sent that one to you, but this one actually kind of seems interesting, but corny at the same time.
The alien ones I may have already read.
Oof. There's like 7?
Maybe.
I think they're supposed to be funny though. Like,
yeah, I also wanted to make sure that we were, not getting the ones that are supposed to be that way. Like,
how do I
corny.
send this? Or should I can I just screenshot it?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna do that.
You can send it to the Facebook.
Yeah, I'll do it on Messenger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm excited. It might actually. I mean, it has a good rating. The cover's actually really cool.
They're all.
But when
really...
I read the description, I was busting up laughing.
That is actually a really cool cover.
It's dope. It's not corny at all. It's like badass. But I was reading the description, and it was funny. Like, I'm rude. I'm like, oh my god, this is it. But the cover's cool, right?
Yeah, it is really cool.
Yeah.
So I also want to say that I don't want any hate towards these authors, because obviously they write books. They did a great job doing a thing, Well,
Well,
let me break
we're
up.
laughing at
But-
it, and then we might read it and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I actually liked it." So,
Well, and
yeah,
like, you know, so
yeah, writing a
it's
book is not
somebody's yum.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done it. Like,
No.
no, I would
That's
love
going to be
to,
a
but I
topic
haven't.
too, by the way. I think we
Yes,
should
yes.
pitch books to each other. I think that would be
Absolutely.
fun. Okay.
That would be really
so
fun.
yours, if you're ready,
Mm-hmm.
is Orcs Prey,
Oh,
a monster romance, Crucius Orc Trilogy, Book 1. The description is: once fate is in motion, nothing can stop the destiny that awaits. And then it goes to Kagan, who apparently is the male main character. There's something about this one that stirs me deeply. The aroma of her tickles my senses as I inhale her scent. I am inflamed as I seek to know more about her. Who is this creature and why do I care?
he's inflamed.
He's inflamed with her aroma that tickles her.
Ew. Is this a male author? No, let me not be mean.
No. That's also funny. I sent it on the Facebook. You can open the link and see the lovely art.
Oh,
Which,
boy.
okay, so I'm going to get kind of in a tangent as well because I got an iPad for Christmas. So I've been, and that's not to say that like, oh, I'm doing so well, I got an iPad. It's just more that I've wanted one for like 10 years now, and we finally decided that this was the year I was going to get one.
Right.
And I've been trying to figure out how to do digital art because the cover is digital art, and like, how did they do that?
Don't you have to like buy a whole nother like thing?
I got
Or
Procreate.
can you do?
Yeah.
Okay. I've like watched people on TikTok like
It doesn't explain shit.
no, it's just people doing it.
Yeah.
And like yeah.
How do
Maybe
you
there's
do
like
this?
a tutorial, like a YouTube.
Yeah, I've
Go
been...
to a little YouTube University. And
Oh,
have them teach
yeah.
you.
That's how I got my my degree. My bachelor's degree is YouTube.
That's how Jake
Yep.
like got through college.
Mhm.
He was like he used to call it YTU. I got it from him. I wish he probably didn't make it up either.
Probably
We're
not.
trying to no, but it's really good. It's solid. So yeah, I go to YouTube for so many things, and I didn't go to college, but if I did,
But Milo did.
I would have been. Milo did go to college.
Thank you.
I hope some people.
I hope somebody gets that.
Please, someone get that reference. Please, you're yeah. Anyways, great band. So yeah. YouTube's great for that. So maybe I don't know. My daughter's tried to get into that. Adrian, and then we realized like you have to have
an iPad.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's and because we have
Or like
going off on a tangent. You might not add this, but there was we bought her. It's like a pad.
It's like a Wacom tablet, right?
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Wacom, yeah, tablet. And what was it? Was just a pad, and like you draw on it.
You
and
attach it to the
computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had one of those. I still think she's a little young. I think that she kind of was understanding it, and she was kind of getting the hang of it. But all the editing and layers and stuff, I think, was a lot for her. I think if she started that. Maybe we could get her on that now.
Yeah,
she's a little because she was like 8, so like yeah, she was having a hard time with that. But I think now she would definitely get it a
little better.
Anyways, yeah. Hopefully you can find something because
yeah.
Now, how did you draw? Oh my God,
Austin Matthews.
Austin Matthews, yeah.
I traced him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I wanted to, thank you. I traced his outline and then like filled, but I want to be able to do it on my own instead of like tracing.
Right.
And also like, I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a tangent. Oh my God. I feel like it like lacks depth almost.
Okay.
So like I want to be able, and like I've been following these creators on like Instagram and stuff forever. That like they just make it look so easy, and I get it, and I'm like, oh, this looks dumb.
Oh no.
So if anyone wants to follow my art Instagram, I'll link it, but it's not going to be great.
You don't give yourself enough credit. I've seen some of the stuff you've done. You're talented for sure. I can't draw. I have no art. link for you. I don't have that.
Yeah, I think I'm like my
You're
worst.
very
Yeah,
creative.
thank you.
I think everyone is when it comes to like art, whatever art it is you do. It's like you're hard on yourself,
Yeah.
but
I don't know. I feel like I'm on like an episode of Nailed It or something. Like the
oh, definitely not.
expectations, reality.
You and Jeff did those paintings.
Bob Ross
was it like a
paintings?
Bob Ross?
Mhm.
Yeah, that was
Oh, that I've
really
been doing
awesome.
forever. Digital art
Well,
is
it's good.
completely different.
So digital art is your newest.
My hyperfixation.
endeavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get those too. They're expensive to have. I need to stop.
I've been really good with this one though. You know how they always complain about I buy you such expensive things and you don't ever use them. So I've been using it every day.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. I use my Kindle all the time. That thing already paid for itself.
Yeah,
for sure. Because Adam was just looking at me when I mentioned it, and I go, I know, but I will use this. And
we have a podcast to do.
Like,
okay.
You see how much I'm reading, like, and how many books I'm buying. I'm like every month I was having to buy so many, and I finally was like, and then what's wonderful is like there's so many on KU. Like I'm set for a minute, and I will still buy a hardcover.
Oh yeah,
it's like what's that one? Slewfoot?
Yeah,
is that? Oh, like that's just beautiful. And Brahm has like art in his books, so those are fun to buy because you get a little bit of extra. Or if a book is very aesthetic, like that, or something special about it, like House of Leaves, right? You can't. Yeah, you have to buy that.
I don't even think it's like, on Kindle.
I don't even know how it could be. I mean, no. So it would not be enjoyable if it was digital in any way.
It is not on.
So
I googled it.
I doubt it. So I would I still would like to have some hardcovers for that, but the Kindle's great too because if I'm reading a book, like, oh, I kind of want to read that, instead of buying it, because I can't find the books I want to read are not in libraries. They're just not. And so I'm buying these books, and if it sucks, I'm like, man. But on this, I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't, no money wasted. So
yeah, it's a lot easier to DNR on the Kindle for sure. It's like, oh, I'm not vibing with this. It's fine. I'll return it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, I love the Kindle. There I go. Okay.
By the way, I believe Hollow Places is on Kindle Unlimited now, which is a win for us.
Oh,
so
wow.
if you were holding off on reading it, it's on Kindle Unlimited. Yes.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It was my first T. Kingfisher. And it was actually at the library, which is so weird. I looked up so many things. And then I'm like, I got this text from Beck. So I look it up and I'm like, okay, let me see if any of, her books are here. And I saw that one. And it was like it was random because there was nothing else there I wanted to read. And I'm like, oh. And I don't even think we talked about that particular book. We didn't. And then I was like, okay, I'll just grab this one. And oh, man.
I think it's because I told you about, what is it? Saint of Steel, Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher. And then you were looking for it. And then you probably found the Hollow Places because she also.
And it's so good. So good.
Yeah, I really like everything she does. I like I know. I wish I could like just talk to her, like have her on. That'd be great. Ideal.
Yeah.
But the way she does horror is very. I've seen it on TikTok. It's called cozy horror, and she's very good at that. She is really good with fantasy. What is the other thing that she does? I think it's just horror and fantasy, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still, it's like basically what we read, so great.
Yeah, and it's very, it's just written so well. It's smart, but not pretentious. It's funny when it, where that's allowed. Because some books, it's like, nothing falls flat with her. Nothing's like, it's just, everything's written very well. And I just surprised how much I laugh. Like, it'll be a scary book and I'm cracking up, but it's done so well. It's like the humor is done very well. Even in a book that has like serious topics, the humor is done well throughout it. And yeah, I love her writing style. She's good. And she just seems like a cool person.
Yeah.
Now I like love her.
I like aspire to be like her.
Yeah. She's like so cool. Yeah. So she's great. Here we
great.
go again. Yeah.
A lot of our tangents are based off of T. Kingfisher, I've noticed. Or Ursula Vernon.
I know.
Her actual name.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, we gush about her a lot because she's just.
She even has a Tumblr account, which she posts
her
like
books.
her art on, which is really fun.
Oh yeah, I need to check that out.
Tumblr?
Yeah, I've never done the Tumblr.
Okay, tangent again. I had Tumblr only for. Hold on, let me make sure Jeff's not listening.
Oh.
Okay, I had Tumblr only for supernatural fan fiction. And then
nice.
I realized how much of like a I don't know, it's a really good place to put like your art and stuff too.
I've seen links to it for people who do art for like NSFW,
yes.
like Stardew
Valley. Yeah.
Yeah, and it would be a Tumblr link, but I never I mean that's all I've ever done is like followed a link and been like, oh god, and then close it out. Like that's it.
Why?
So I've never like.
You're not curious to see what Shane looks like? Oh, okay.
Oh, I've looked at them. But what I'm saying is I've never like
get this off my history.
Is it like an app or something? Like I've never ventured
No,
into
it's like a social media
a
platform.
Okay, so I've only ever like followed a link and then looked at something. I'm like, oh cool, or haha, or whatever it may be, or oh, and then close out. You know what I mean? I've never like browsed around Tumblr, I guess I should say. So
yeah, it's
I don't really know how the platform works. Like, is it like Pinterest or
kind
Instagram?
of?
Is it more, yeah, okay.
But there's also text posts too, so it's not necessary. It's like a blog, kind of.
Okay.
That you have to log into.
Yeah. Is it like Reddit?
Kind of. Reddit is more of like a forum situation.
Yeah, Reddit is more of a forum. I'll look at it. Yeah. I'll definitely.
I think I'll probably end up posting some of my art there too. But not to plug myself again, but
no, girl, it's fine.
So, I feel like I've taken the lead quite a bit. What did you have for us?
So, as I said earlier, I'm gushing over this freaking series. So, I'm gonna talk a little bit about my current read. So, the reason why I think I'm so like this is exciting. I'm excited is because I've never been a fantasy girl. A little bit, a touch of it, whatever, that's fine. But I've never thought I would enjoy reading it. And it's kind of the same thing with like, I don't like to watch fantasy, but then I got really into Game of Thrones and my husband made fun of me so bad. I'm like, I'm not going to watch a show with freaking dragons. It's so, I just can't. And then I got super into it. And I was never really like that with reading. Like, I don't want to read it, but I didn't think I would enjoy it. And I am enjoying it. So I started the Crowns of Nyaxia. That's how I say it.
Yeah, I think so.
Series, and it's 3 books, and they're very popular on BookTok. That's how I found out about them. That's how I find out about a lot of my books. I go on there and kind of look around and find out. I'm gonna get the names of them because they have kind of long names, and I don't want to botch them. So the first one was The Serpents and the Wings of Night, and so the second book is a novella, so it's not as long as the first one, and it's called Six Scorched Roses, and it follows 2 different people. So the first one follows a couple, pretty much, and a father, and there's a lot of drama, and it's so good. And then the second book is 2 characters that aren't mentioned in the first book at all, but you kind of get a little bit of their story, and then the third book, it all kind of comes together, like it's in the same world and they come back into the scene. So you don't have to necessarily read the second one, but I would recommend doing it if you are into the series, just so that way when you read when they're in the third book, you're like, oh, that's them. I read about them already. So it kind of introduces you to a new couple, and they're so good. They're such good books. I think they're good. I'm loving it. I'm on the third one. I'm almost done. And the third one I might actually like better than the first one. And I'm not big on I usually don't like any kind of sequel, even with book. I like them, but I don't. The first one is always like the best. And for this one, I don't know. Like, I think this third one might be better than the first one. It's just really well written, and fantasy, again, it's new to me. So I like that it's not very pretentious, because I think fantasy can get a little much to where I can't understand it. It gets to a point where like I don't even know, like I can't pronounce any of these words. I don't know what any of this means.
You've explained this blade
I,
of grass to me 5 times.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's sometimes it's hard to follow too. Like I've read some and I'm like, ugh, what? She's it's very easy to follow. But there's still a lot of good plot. There is twists and turns where you have to kind of think for a minute and then you're like, oh,
Oh,
like it'll
shit.
dawn on you. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. I love and hate characters. I love who I'm supposed to. I hate who I'm supposed to. She's really I love everything about this series. Some people don't like it. It has mixed reviews. It seems like more people like it than not. I absolutely love it. But fantasy and fantasy romance is new to me. And this also has enemies to lovers, which I love.
Yeah?
I have found out I really like that. And it's a slow burn, which I love. Like I've read other books of the slow burn and I didn't enjoy it, but with this series there's so much going on that like the plot is so good that like that's just a fun little bonus when it happens. It's not like because some books are like, okay, get to it.
Right.
Right? Like the story's good, the plot's there, but it's like, you know why I'm here.
Yeah.
But like this one, it happens and you're like, oh, finally, yay. But because I'm new to fantasy romance, if anyone out there, including you, Beck, have any recommendations, easy to read.
I do.
Enemies to lovers, fantasy. I need to know because I have so much going on my TBR, but I want more of this because I'm really, I'm loving it. I like it a lot. So it's exciting for me. What do you have? What do you have? Tell me.
Please.
Yeah.
So I think, okay, if you're going for the enemies to lovers, I think the Married to Magic by Elise Kova is a very good series as well. Book 4 just came out like 2 days ago. That's
Mary or married?
Married.
Okay.
So it's each of the books is a different so the first one is a Fae King, like a dark king. The second one is a fairy, like an actual fairy. The third one is a vampire. The fourth one is going to be a siren. Yes. So like a mermaid.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. Cover art,
nice.
Beautiful. I like the way Elise Kova writes them, basically. So yeah, that's my recommendation for you.
I just added them all.
I do really enjoy I love that you are getting more into fantasy romance. Obviously I have read basically every category of I haven't read every category. I don't think I've read like cowboy. It's on my TBR because I might as well, get it.
Yeah.
And Arthur Morgan. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, you do have
I know he's just pixels, but
yeah.
He's the love of my life.
I do hear like that like the boys, my brothers. They're always the boys for me. But they're always,
twins, yes.
Yeah, they are twins. So I'm always like when I say if you ever hear me say the boys, I'm talking about my brothers, but they and even my husband always talk about how it's just like the best story ever told and this and that. And I'm
an
like,
amazing
it must be
story.
Pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, it must be pretty good.
I think Jack
Maybe
Black.
They'll make a book with him. Are you going to picture him? Is he going to be?
Yeah, absolutely.
In your
100% all the time. It's Arthur Morgan.
That's so funny.
I think Jack Black is trying to make a Red Dead Redemption TV series, which would be great.
Oh, that would be amazing.
And if anybody could do it, I believe Jack Black could. But
yeah,
for
sure.
And you got a little inside information for people that are going to play it. You got to get girl horses because then he tells you you're a good girl.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's nice. Oh, that's like I like Good Girl, and then this.
Oh book, no, I love the Good Girl thing.
This series, so it's enemies to lovers. So, they'll be like when they're in their, I don't know, like she's kind of starting to get soft with him, but then he'll say something and she'll get pissed off,
Yeah.
and she'll snap at him and he'll say, there she is. And he says it all the time. And I fucking love it. She'll say something. He's like, there she is. And I'm like, so it's like my favorite thing.
That explains your description.
Yeah, I just wrote there she is. Cause I'm like, if somebody reads it, they're going to know exactly. Cause it's said a lot throughout the 2 books. And I love it. I love it. Cause whenever she's like, just snaps at him or something, he'll say it, and it's cute because when they enemies to lovers, and it that's when she gets mad at him or spouts something at him, and when he says that, I'm always like, oh, melt. Like, it's like, I love it. You should read it. It's really good.
I probably will.
I hope so. It's so good. I don't know. I'm new to fantasy again. Like, you're very well versed in it, and
oh yeah, that's what tangent.
I'm new, so I'm like, yeah. So I don't want to be like, you read it, and I'm not saying I don't know because I'm new. Again, it might, to me, it's amazing. So I love it. So yeah.
We went on like a roundabout tangent about Arthur, and then Good Girl, and then enemies, but. Fantasy is probably like my favorite genre to read. I don't know why. Like I don't have the like capacity or like psychology. I do have a psychology degree, but I don't have like the be able to peel back the layers and understand why I like fantasy so much. But that is one of the genres that I always find myself coming back to. Like I do love horror, and I do like that's going to be another topic too, is like books that we refuse to read. But I'll read almost anything. I don't do self-help stuff, but I'll read almost everything. But fantasy is always going to like take precedence. So I will probably read it. It's really good. I want you to review it and then give it a couple months, and then I'll do it because I don't want it to be, I read this.
Like
and
back to back. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just it's exciting for me because I'm like, I got introduced to this genre, and because I even like the Death and Rest and the other ones.
Oh yeah,
I hate that I don't remember
the God of Death and Rest and then
Wrath and Lies.
Yes.
I think was the first one. So those are good. Those are really good. And I love them. And I commented on her TikTok. And she loved it and responded, and I got so excited. It's so stupid. I was like, "Oh, she responded."
We talked about you on our podcast.
So cool, yeah. And I do love those. I do like those books a lot. But I'm loving these. And what's exciting is like, I haven't been bored. I mean, I've read a lot of fantasy lately, and I'm like, is this something like I should have been reading all along and like didn't realize? And again, I'm not gonna want anything too crazy. Because it's just going to be too hard for me to understand. Like, I can't imagine reading Game of Thrones. I probably would have been so confused. My brain can't. And if your brain can, like, that's freaking awesome. And if you can take all that description and like all that crazy, because to me, I will get bored if it's too much. I personally, like, if you just on and on and on, and I'm like, oh my God, I get bored. And some people love that because they're really into that world building, and they want to see every cloud and every essence of where they're at, quote unquote. But like, I want to leave I want enough, but I also want some of it to be my own imagination, and I don't want everything just explained in so much detail, because I will, just how I am, I will get bored, and I don't want that either. So I have this like fine line, because I know some people really enjoy that, and I get it. I get the appeal. Like, I get why people would like that. It's just not for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah. But I'm loving fantasy romance. It's fun.
It is fun. There's also dark fantasy, which I feel like would also be up your alley.
I probably would like that. What's that?
It's like, so it's not necessarily like fairies and elves, and well, it can be elves, but it's more of like a darker story instead of just being like all bright and cheery.
Oh yeah. Well, that's kind of like what I've been reading.
Yeah.
Right? Like God of Death and vampires, and Nyaxia is like the goddess of the vampires, and it's so good. Yeah, it's definitely like the fantasy romance books also follow like the blank 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 format, but it's like a blank of blank and blank.
So
Yeah,
if the book
absolutely.
has that format, you're like, oh, I know what I'm in for.
I like the darker stuff. I don't know if I would be into the cozier stuff. I will not ever say I won't, because like I said, I didn't think I'd even be into this, and here I am. But I just generally gravitate towards darker. I just like that. I always have darker things in horror and things that are a little more on the spooky side. So but I'm not, I mean, I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever read anything that's like fairies and elves. I don't know.
Or,
I would I'm not saying I won't, because I will. I'll try anything at this point, because like I'm surprising myself. I am like 40 years old and like didn't know I enjoyed fantasy romance. Like this is crazy. So, but it's also very fun. It's also very fun to be new to all this stuff and just be excited for it. So,
well,
I would take your recommendations though, because you probably are a good judge of like what
I don't know.
would like.
You don't like my Troll King.
Your Troll King.
We had this discussion like a year ago about you asked me about like monster romances, and I gave you like I gave you like 3 recommendations, and one of them was like a troll, but he's not like,
I'm gonna think of the one from the movie Troll.
No. I mean,
you've seen it?
Trolls? No.
I grew up watching the movie Troll.
Oh, the troll in what is it called?
It's called Troll.
Oh, is it?
The one I'm thinking of. It's old. It came out in the 80s, and I watched it. We had it on VHS for whatever reason, and I watched it over and over. And it's an ugly thing. And I know if I read it, that's gonna be what's in my brain.
Is it A Troll in Central? No. A Troll in Central Park was in 1994, so
no. This is
I used to watch that one all the
Troll.
time. Oh, is it the one with like the belly button
1986. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. The ring.
Yeah. No.
The needle ring. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. It's not anything like that.
Came out January 17th, 1986, and I was obsessed with it. And I know he does. Oh God, I hope not. Like I know, but and trolls are really cool. Like I went to Norway, and they're everywhere because they're literally every store, every restaurant, every bar, every hotel. There's like little trolls because I think they're good luckers. You know more about this than I do, but I think they're like a symbol of good luck or something, because they were literally everywhere, and I thought it was so cute. Like it's like Easter eggs in that country. Like you're sitting there eating and you're like, there's one, there's one. You try to find them. Like it's super fun. But I wasn't there long, but yeah, I saw trolls were everywhere, and I'd have to get past my image, and my image is like what's ingrained in my brain. But I guess if he's described well,
you can always refer back to the title page too, because he's pretty clunky. Hold on, I have to get back to my spreadsheet.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I think you showed it to me too.
Mm-hmm. It's the first one is The Bride of the Shadow King. It's by Sylvia Mercedes.
Bride of the Shadow King. Oh yeah, see, he don't look like no troll.
No, because that's part of it, is that I expected trolls to look much different, and then he's like this hunky dude. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
and
I should check it out.
It's not terribly spicy, but there's elements.
Oh, I like. I mean, I like spice, and it doesn't have to have spice. I found out, because this one, honestly, the series, it has it. Don't get me wrong, and it's well written too, because it's like a slow burn, very much so. But there's not a lot, but there doesn't need to be a lot. So I hope you like it. I hope you like it as much as I do. You're gonna read it and be like, and I'm like, oh no,
this ain't it. No, I'm sure I'll love it.
It's really good to me. So that was our first Thurstea. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think we did great.
All right, awesome. Again, if you'd like to win a shirt and sticker pack. Check out the contest posted on our socials. I have a shirt now and I love it, and I love wearing it. Super comfy. She picked out really good t-shirts. So try to get one. We can be found on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and we're going to do our best to post there a couple times a week if you're interested, and all the links to those will be found in the show notes.
And if there's anything else you'd like to see from us, specifically in this format, like any topics you want us to go over, please just let us know. We can go on tangents about anything. And finally, if you're a fan of this podcast and want to show us some love, just please subscribe and share it with everybody. I would also ask for you to follow our TikTok because we need 100 followers before we can post a link.
Yes, please.
Please.
Tell everyone. Tell all your friends.
Tell all your friends.
That's all for today. I'm your co-host, Stephanie.
And I'm back.
And this has been S&B Thurstea. See you in the next chapter.